Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the ESL One Genting Close Qualifiers for South America. We have Team Infamous versus Luccini Gaming here for a best-of-3 match. I'm your caster, Moxie. I'm joined with the wonderful Mr. Forge, and I'm pretty excited to see how this match is going to go.
Yeah, should be interesting. We've got Infamous, one of the powerhouses in South American Dota right now, and I think Luccini, one of the longer standing teams from the region. So, I mean, this is going to be interesting one way or another.
Definitely, and we do just have a new sort of a hotfix patch that came out, maybe a little bit more than a hotfix, but 7.07D just came out yesterday, so we've been seeing a little bit of changes coming out from some of the drafting styles of the players. However, we do see that Slardar and the Tusk have been banned out. Nightstalk are pretty common as well. Dusa actually first ban material here coming out from the side of Luccini. No Brood and no Morph, and Morphling actually just got nerfed really, really hard, I feel. So I'm a little surprised that they still opt to ban that hero.
I'm surprised as well. I feel like that hero is going to be very quickly disappearing from the meta after the change to his morph. But Luccini's still respecting the power of Infamous. They don't want to get caught off guard, maybe underestimate the hero because of the nerf, and they're going to grab themselves a tiny Bane as their opener.
Bane's been seeing a lot of play. Definitely a value pickup here for terms of support, being able to Nightmare, and now also being able to right-click the target is very, very helpful during laning. He's been very commonly seen over in mid with a lot of our games, where he actually either Nightmares the enemy mid player, or of course throws out that Enfeeble. The Shadow Demon pickup here on Infamous, though, I'm interested to see if we're going to see like another Luna Shadow Demon kind of setup here, or some sort of agi hero. Yeah, the Elder Titan pickup too, to ensure that can't be used against them, makes me think either something like a Luna or maybe a Mirana pickup for the side of Infamous.
Luna is going to get banned, which isn't really too surprising. SD Luna is just way too potent to let that get through the draft. Something like a Mirana could be really nice, though. It doesn't benefit quite so much from the illusions from disruption, but obviously very easy arrow setup and some nice synergy with the Soul Catcher into Starfall as well. A lot of damage coming out there. Elder Titan as well, going to be able to abuse the disruption into Stomp, help set up there. This does leave them a little bit light right now on actual like stuns. They've got, the banish and they've got the sleep, but no real hard disable. So they're going to definitely have to compensate for that with some of their cores. On the flip side, Luccini, they've got themselves some nice burst damage and lockdown in the form of that Tiny. The Avatos, of course, do a lot against a squishy target like that Shadow Demon or the Elder Titan, and he's going to get his attack speed buffed out quite considerably by the Ogre Magi, another one of the staples, I think, for this patch right now.
Yeah, one of the top picks actually for supports currently, has a pretty high pickup ban rate as well. And like you said, this has a great capability of being able to harass using the Ignite, and also very tanky hero, able to trade hits effectively. So got the supports picked up here for Luccini. We have been following Luccini. We saw them actually yesterday play against Team Vulture. They opted to go for a really strong push lineup actually in game number 2, where they went with the Venge Beastmaster Viper sort of combo and just ran over all of the towers. So be interested to see what they do here today and how Infamous will respond to this.
Yeah, it was some interesting drafting coming out. And right now, they've set themselves up for some pretty ridiculously strong lanes. We already mentioned Bane has the Enfeeble, the Nightmare to shut down, and Ogre going to run around, bop people on the head, check out the Ignite. It's going to be pretty difficult for the cores of Infamous to get anything done. And, Shadow Demon ET, they're not really great defensive supports. They want to be on the aggressive, getting the kills, setting things up. So they're going to need some cores that are either a little bit more self-sufficient or can combo nicely with the Shadow Demon and the Elder Titan. Something like the Mirana, or maybe even the Terrorblade, just for that illusion damage. Whatever they decide, it needs to be able to withstand the harass that's going to come out from this Ogre and the Bane.
Now, important to note, too, we have no ban of the Omni Knight here. Granted, they'd probably be a little bit too light in terms of initiation if they pick it up over on Infamous. But that is still a hero left in the pool, despite the fact that he did get that nerf in terms of, what is it, his purification is a little bit smaller of a circle. I forget the exact, let me see here, I've got some notes. Omni Knight. Yeah, the purification cast range, actually, rather, was reduced. So from 575 to 450, and a couple other nerfs as well in terms of cooldown for Guardian Angel. And of course, one of his talents went from +4 mana regen to +3. But I like the Winter Wyvern pickup. That's a lot of slow. Again, not hard lockdown, but will work out pretty nicely if they have any more high damage cores coming out from the side of Luccini in terms of team fight. They don't really have anything to really interrupt that cold embrace. But they pick up the puck as well, and that's going to be good initiation on the side of Luccini.
The interesting thing about Infamous Draft right now is, with this Winter Wyvern pick, one of these has to be their offlaner. I think it's going to be the Wyvern, but it could theoretically be the Shadow Demon. I don't remember which team it was. Ran it pretty recently, actually, as an offlane Shadow Demon, and worked pretty well. So some interesting strategies coming out from Infamous, but now they have their hard lockdown and their tower hitter in the form of the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, Dragon Knight's been seeing more and more play lately.
Yeah, he's just so difficult to really harass out of lane, and with the new talents giving him some actual damage and some attack speed, he scales a little bit nicer into the late game than he used to. Still wants to end the game faster, but if it goes late, he's not completely useless anymore.
That's always nice when you're described as not completely useless anymore. But I do like the ban coming out from Luccini. Having a Terrorblade would be a huge problem for them, especially when you consider the fact that there could be a Shadow Demon making even more Terrorblades. So, also important to note, Shadow Demon has been reworked on his Soul Catcher. He no longer gets a copy of, or rather an illusion of whatever hero dies underneath Soul Catcher until he gets the talent. So that has been reworked with the latest patch.
That's level 15, I believe he gets that talent, right?
I think so. Ooh, a Lone Druid.
A Lone Druid. So no real like super obvious Shadow Demon combo, like nobody that you just want to make super great illusions of. Maybe the DK, if you're sieging towers, you pop the DK form, you get the 2 dragons from the Shadow Demon, but nothing quite so ridiculous as like the Luna, the Terrorblade, anything like that.
No, pretty much everything that goes well with that. Well, that's not true, because you could still pick up something like a Piranha. It could have gone with something like a Sniper or a Drow, although I don't think that's necessarily what they want for this lineup here. But yeah, it still provides a nice setup for the Elder Titan to get the stomp off. Does create other illusions of the enemy team as well. And Shadow Poison, it does a lot of damage. A lot of people really undervalue how much damage that Shadow Poison actually does if you stack it. So, we'll see. Interesting draft though coming out here from Infamous. Lots of tower push.
The interesting thing too, not necessarily say this is going to be the game changer, but Shadow Demon Winter Wyvern is interesting because you can kind of almost go back to when Winter Wyvern was OP. With if you catch somebody alone with Soul Catcher, you can still damage them through Winter Wyvern ulti, because all it gives is the 100% damage reduction to the target. But if you amp that up with the Soul Catcher, all of a sudden you can actually start doing a bit of damage through the Winter Wyvern ulti. So not a super obvious synergy, but just something that Infamous could potentially look to exploit if they get the right catch out.
So what do we see here now for Luccini? What's their last pickup, do you think?
Well, they need either a mid or an off lane, depending on where the puck is going to go. I think they're better off leaving the puck off lane. It's going to be a hard lane for the Elder Titan and the Shadow Demon to gank.
They go for the Viper.
They're going to grab the Viper mid. The break is really good against Dragon Knight. You just chuck out the Nether Toxin. He loses all of his armor, loses all of his regen, has to back up out of the lane, and does pretty okay scaling into what they have to offer on the side.
Yeah, I was about to say that a Razor could have been something pretty good for them, but it looks like that was their last ban on the side of Infamous, just because you don't want your Dragon Knight not having damage, you don't want the Bear not having damage as well, so I feel like the team fight's a little a little lacking on Luccini. What do you think?
I mean, it's kind of wonky for both teams.
Yeah.
They don't really have like super clear initiators outside of Puck and Dragon Knight. I mean, Tiny's going to grab a Blink Dagger, but that's not really a team fight item for him. It's more of a ganking thing. So it's really just like the Puck and the Dragon Knight. They're going to be like blinking in and start getting stuff started off. Infamous really, I think, more looking to just set up really strong push lineups. You know, they sit with the DK in front, everybody behind. Maybe the Bears off doing something else.
Well, I mean, in game number 1 yesterday against what was it, Vulture? They actually had this Tiny constantly split pushing as well. So maybe that's a little bit of the name of the game here too. I don't know, but we're gonna head into game number 1, guys.
Yeah, I think that the Tiny's going to have to split push, not necessarily because it's what he wants to be doing, but just because he's one of the only heroes that can safely de-push what the Spear Bear is going to be doing. Because the Sniper Lone Druid that we saw earlier in the year is pretty much dead. It's gone back to the old school Radiance Bear builds. It's going to be split pushing the waves, constantly creating pressure. So Tiny's going to have to do that, not necessarily because that's the game plan, but he's the only one I think that can do it safely and quickly.
And apologies, guys, we actually do not have a ticket for ESL One Genting, so you're not going to have the correct player names, unfortunately, and it can get a little confusing. We'll try our best, but we're probably just going to call out the actual heroes and not player names throughout this. Oh, do you see they have the new courier over here on Infamous?
Yeah, the
from Okami, right?
courier.
Yeah,
the Amaterasu. I loved this game. This was a great game. I was really happy actually when I saw this courier in the workshop, and I'm glad it's in the game now. This is great.
So as per usual, we have a little bit of a pause. I wonder, because I know people are going to ask me. I'm going to swap over to OBS really quick, and maybe I'll put the team names underneath each side.
Okay. When you come back, I can safely tell you that the Radiant Shrines are safe to look at if you dare.
Oh, we've already talked about that. We don't do
that. Dire Shrines, not so much. Or Dire effigies, not so much. Any crazy builds? Anything that suggests who's going where? I think this is going to be offlane Shadow Demon based on item build. He's got himself a full bracer and a stack of tangos. Elder Titan starting with boots first, which is pretty normal for most support Elder Titans, I think. So unless I'm mistaken, this looks to be the offlane Shadow Demon going up against safe lane Tiny, which isn't too bad because you can make some nice illusions. They've got decent base damage, and you can use it to harass and deny some farm out. But of course, Bane, Ogre, pretty scary heroes to run into, even with the defensive capabilities of the Shadow Demon.
All right, I've almost got these names up and rolling here, so that way people who are just joining stream will have some sort of an idea of who's who. All right,
it's a good idea,
Luccini up. I was just thinking about that. I thought that would be a good idea. So now, if you look on the stream, you can actually see who is who in terms of teams, and you're probably going to have to remind me to change that when we get into the next game, but
I will remember.
That's good, because I probably will not. I've got sticky notes all over my setup here to remind myself where I need to switch things, where I need to hide things, etc., so forth. But like we said, we do have a pause. What did the Dire have for a courier? They've got the Mighty Ram. Yeah. All right, there's the go call. Looks like we're gonna be getting started.
Yeah, I'm definitely a bigger fan of the Amaterasu courier. I love that game so much.
Well, what about draft? Draft-wise, which team are you liking better, Forge?
Draft, I think the push is a little bit scarier. Coming out from Infamous is the Radiant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Infamous has themselves a slightly scarier push. Winter Wyvern's going to be disrupting any kind of counterplay with Winter's Curse, and initiating onto the Spirit Bear or the Dragon Knight is going to be difficult. So I think I'm going to give a slight edge to Infamous here.
Okay, so we're thinking that this push is just going to be too strong.
Yeah, I mean, break is going to be good from the Viper to help deal with DK, but there's only all he has to do really is just move over to the side and continue hitting the tower, or just stand it and not care. Either way.
I love level 1 Tiny with the tree. I think it looks so adorable. Because just he is actually his namesake. He's actually just so tiny. Oh my goodness. But, do you see, you know, some movement coming out here. I like that Winter Wyvern's already taunting. Showing some spirit. I like it. I like it a lot. Puck's going to make his way down here. Does have a ward looking to place. Needs to be careful because Dragon Knight's sitting around in the trees there.
Okay, so they're actually mixing things up. They're gonna put the Dragon Knight bottom against the Puck and do the mid lone Druid to avoid the Viper DK matchup, which is
seems like a good idea.
Nice rotation. It's just so difficult to lane against Viper as a melee hero. You've got the poison attack, and if you disable DK's regen, he's basically just a crap hero. So good call on putting the lone Druid in there.
A little bit of harass coming out here from Puck. It's that value harass click over onto DK. Take that. DK really doesn't care though, honestly. Top rune spot looks like Ogre and Bane have pushed the Shadow Demon away from it. We'll be able to secure this bounty rune. In fact, Bane's going to be the one who picks it up. So where's the first Blood Forge?
Top. 100% the Shadow Demon dies.
100%. All right. I mean, this is looking really spooky right now for him, considering the Ogre and, of course, this Bane have already found him. At least a lot of harass. Yeah, there's going to be the disruption coming out here, and he's getting body blocked by the Ogre and his own creeps here. Still trying to slow him down. They get a couple value clicks off, but nothing too wild right now. We'll just make some space.
That actually worked out really nicely for Shadow Demon because the wave is kind of pushing in towards his side, but he's gonna have a tougher time trying to get an XP range, and Tiny's just gonna be able to deny all these creeps. The base damage is not even close. 77 to 54 for Shadow Demon.
He's just gonna constantly make illusions and try to get stuff done that way, it looks like.
I don't see this working out well for Shadow Demon. I mean, this is just two of the most lane bullying supports you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, Ogre gonna be able to just spam his W over on him the entire time. Makes it pretty difficult. In fact, we already see Bane kind of making a rotation, realizing that he can be helping out here with this lone Druid, who's doing pretty well in terms of CS 5 and 5, whereas Viper's sitting 3 and 2. Not a huge difference, but he can't really get too close here, just because this Viper going to harass as much as possible. And how's the bottom lane going here? Looks like Puck and DK pretty much even.
Yeah, it's basically just a mid matchup. Like that's all it is. Wyvern's just gonna constantly pull the lane as best she can. This pull's actually not gonna connect. That's rough. Range creep somehow gonna aggro over, but Puck and DK just gonna be left alone to the lane for the most part. I think top's gonna be where we see most of our action.
Echo Stomp comes in, and looks like Elder Titan gonna be able to snatch that bounty rune right from underneath Ogre's nose.
And double rune for Puck is gonna be nice. I mean, I'm amazed that this Shadow Demon is still alive.
I don't think they needed to move this Bane over, honestly. I think they just killed the Shadow Demon over and over. Wyvern coming forward, though, will be able to put out a little bit of harass. Get slowed down a little bit here, is forced to eat a tree. But again, the days of 1v1 mid are pretty much over.
Yeah, rip my mid career. But in all seriousness, they did actually kind of need to move the Bane over, more because less about the CS and more about the denies. The Lone Druid plus Spirit Bear combo just means that Viper can't really get the levels that he wants to be able to getting. So that's the main reason the Bane rotated over, but is going to head back up top now, try and contest this Shadow Demon.
It's been a fairly calm game despite everything here. No deaths yet on the clock after today's our opening games today, where we had like 6 deaths in like 3 minutes or something like that, maybe even a little bit higher.
Oh yeah, but by this point in the game there was like 7 deaths.
It was a bloodbath. Shadow Demon's actually out of mana here at top, so needs to be a little careful here. Does have himself a wand though. It's like Bane kind of wants to do something. There's going to be the Wyvern, though, following up. They'll try to just slow him down a little bit. Tiny coming forward. Gets the Avalanche off over onto the Shadow Demon. Needs a little bit of help. That's a nice slow being thrown out with the Splinter Blast. And the two of them will be able to just move back. No problem. Echo Stomp comes in, doesn't connect with anything.
I just can't wrap my head around how the Shadow Demon is still alive. Like, he's bullying this Tiny. Should be the other way around. You should have just such easy kill opportunities, but...
Well, they've rotated quite a few heroes here. There will be an Ignite thrown out over onto the Winter Wyvern, followed up with the Avalanche. Toss comes in. That'll be able to get first blood going over onto Bane, and now Shadow Demon, he's looking a little bit scared right now. Big Echo Stamp coming in. Will connect over onto Tiny. They'll try to get a couple clicks off here, but they're still following into the trees. Can they get this kill? Yes, it'll be the Ogre who gets the final hit, and now Tiny's gonna have to go run around. He's a little scared. Does have a solve, though. Chasing after. Big Splinter Blast coming in will actually cancel out the Tiny's healing, but they'll still be able to get the kill over onto Elder Titan using that Brain Sap. And Tiny will just cart his little tree off and go back to hitting these creeps. Middle lane, a little bit of 1v1 action going on here between the Lone Druid and the Viper.
Yeah, I mean...
Big stomp, big stomp. We'll be able to get the Lone Druid out, and they should be able to clean up this kill.
Oh,
nice debate.
Lord.
Oh, we lose Tiny top, too. There's some more danger going on here in the trees. Bane chasing after the Shadow Demon here. Wyvern trying the best to just slow them down a little bit, but it's not going to be quite enough here. Still trying to flap her wings out. Doesn't have anything to really save herself. Bane has only Enfeeble, so he can't do a Brain Sap just quite yet. One more click, though. Should be able to do it. Oh, if he had only stayed, they will let Ogre go ahead and tank everything. This is a lot of people dancing around the trees. Oh, the tables have turned now. Looks like Bane's in a lot of trouble. They try to get the Dire Courier too. Are they going to be able to? He's going to be able to get away just in the nick of time. Echo Stomp coming in. Brain Sap, though. Ooh, it's going to be able to just buy him some more time, get him a little more health, and Tiny gonna get that kill.
I think you've somehow Caster's cursed the... I think you Caster's cursed this game because you're asking for blood and they were like,
I don't think that's a curse. I think that's fun.
Yeah. Well,
I like action-packed games, man.
No,
it's no fun to watch people farming.
That's fair. That's fair. Speaking of farming, Lone Druid's pretty much got his Midas. Needs a couple hundred more gold. We'll
that's a good route over onto Viper. Elder Titan coming in here. He does have a haste rune. Bane's going to be TPing in, though, very, very shortly. They see an opening possibly to jump over onto the onto this Lone Druid. I don't know. Bane does spot out the Elder Titan, though, here on the steps. Winter Wyvern standing nearby as well.
They do get the D ward, which is nice. Bottom, looks like Dragon Knight's doing pretty well against the puck. That damage reduction is just massive. And top of the CS charts is actually our Dragon Knight. 44 and 14 for him.
Life's going pretty well for him. Doesn't have anyone really bothering him in his lane. Occasionally the puck will throw out a couple boops here and there, but nothing too wild. And we do see an invasion here into the jungle. Might be a little deep. Oh, they're actually going to chase him under tower. The Nightmare gets off here. Will get thrown over onto the Bane as he tries to run himself out. Tiny as well going under this tower. The disruption comes out. Will force him back. And Ogre's just chasing around looking for the Shadow Demon. He's just going to TP. Maybe a little too ambitious here. Bane. Oh, Bane needs to be careful. Although he does have Brain Sap up. And bottom lane, actually, they take down the puck. The Dream Coil gets used as well. Big Echo Stomp over onto the Viper here in mid. They're hoping for a root here. Can they get it? Viper Strike gets used over onto Lone Druid. He's pretty hurt. Oh, the Brain Sap follow-up. He's definitely dead here. One more right click. And Bane somehow manages to stay alive during all that. Get the kill over onto Lone Druid. Echo Stomp coming in. Will actually just clip Bane. They need one more hit, and he'll be able to get it. Elder Titan. Cleaning up the Nightmare, man.
That Lone Druid death really hurts, actually, because he's not going to have his bear for a full minute after he's up. So that was a nicely timed rotation by the Bane there, securing that kill. I'm not sure if they saw him resummon it or not, but that's going to be a rough period.
Yeah, against the Viper, it's going to be really, really tough. And already the harass begins.
The new poison attack is actually just so disgustingly good.
Winter Wyvern coming through here, though. She's going to go ahead, use the Arctic Burn. We'll turn around. Doesn't seem like Viper's too concerned about this. We'll get ahead and get himself another couple hits onto these creeps. He's bloodlusted as well. Which team was it a while back that did the bloodlusted Viper with like frost armor? Oh, that was nasty. Was that PPD's team?
Might have been.
I just remember that being so gross. But,
yeah, bloodlusted Viper with ice armors. Pretty nasty. Lich, of course, fallen completely off the radar. Kinda glad.
Oh, there's the reveal of the smoke. They've got the Dream Coil. Puck actually uses the Illusory Orb, finds himself the Lone Druid over here, uses the Fierce Barrel, but it only goes off over onto Bane. Nightmare comes out. This should be a very dead Lone Druid, except the Nightmare gets transferred over onto the Viper. While all this is going down, they lose the Tiny and the top. To Shadow Demon. Oh, but there's two other people there. Oh, the Courier. The Courier. Is it going to get out? Yeah, it's fine. All right. Go on, Mighty Ram.
I think that's probably one of my favorite thing about watching South American Dota is they will just send the Courier into the trees to scout for things. I've seen it so many times. As long as that shield is up.
Oh, the vision, the vision. Viper sitting on the low ground, and Ogre giving him vision was just enough so that way he could click him down, get the Viper strike off. Nowhere is safe from Viper.
Nowhere is safe from the Vip. And he's going to take this tower. Speaking of towers, though, up top, DK gets his Blink Dagger off of that freshly destroyed T1 in the top lane.
Well, that'll be good. Some more mobility coming out. Dragon Form was used. And you're going to have Dream Coil back up in another second here. I'm not sure if they want to go back in, try to get this tower. Oh, the blink, the reveal over onto Puck. He's gonna for a little bit of problems. Gonna try to buy himself some time. Should be able to just jaunt himself away. He's out all the way to safety now, and they will back off. So that's a big reveal, though. They know now that there is the Blink Dagger. Disruption coming out, though, over here on bottom. Tiny gonna be forced back. They do get the Fiend's Grip off, though, over onto the Shadow Demon, and the Bear will actually be able to use the Fear Spell, break that channeling control, but they'll still take down Shadow Demon. Elder Titan now sitting up over here onto the side. Looks like he's just doing a bit of scouting with the Spirit. And Bane gonna TP over back to mid. We've got a TP coming out. Looks like he's just gonna be able to get out in time. And Wyvern drops a ward, tries to fly herself out to safety. I'm not sure if anyone's really chasing though. Maybe the Puck, but she's got like no mana. She's got no TP. They see her. This is a very dead Wyvern. And bottom lane still, too. We see that Tiny's just can't catch a break here. He's being chased around left and right, working on that Blink Dagger, has his treads, is going to go just TP himself out, and Elder Titan really can't do anything about it.
And this Tiny is having such a rough game, getting followed around constantly by the ET. Less so by the Shadow Demon, but still there a lot of the time. And
oh, there's the blink forward over onto the Viper. Big stomp coming out here from the Elder Titan. Gets that Earth Splitter off. Finally managed to take down the Viper. He's pretty tanky, but DK able to just power through it here.
Yeah, cool demons don't look at the exploding Vipers. Monty.
Yeah, right?
They just casually drop the ulti, couple of stacks of poison, and then walk away.
Yeah, Dragon Knight, he's on the prowl. He blinked forward into the trees. He was looking for anyone, but everyone else has backed off from the side of Luccini here. And they take the mid tower, objective-based gaming.
And this is giving a lot of space to the Lone Druid. He's got most...
Oh, Dream Coil gets used over here. Over onto Elder Titan. Puck, he's looking. He does have the Waning Rift if necessary. Looks like he's not going to use it, but puts off a lot of harass. Will try to get himself out. The Stomp does connect, though, over onto the Puck. Looks like Shadow Demon was thinking about going in on that. Will change his mind. They'll use the Shadow Poison to a bit scouting, but Puck is out. And very close to that Blink Dagger, too. TP's coming out here. Looks like... they're just going to go off to a couple lanes to farm. It looked like something was going down here mid. Wyvern forced to use the Arctic Burn to fly herself out. But I think they've got their eyes on this mid tower now. Big Stomp comes in. Actually does connect over onto Bane, but they take down the tier 1 mid. And they do get a nice ward over here. Winter's Curse coming in. Oh, Bane, not like this. He's going to get taken down. Lots of stack of Shadow Poison as well. DK now will try to fight through here with the Tiny. The Viper coming in. Big Echo Stomp coming in yet again. Viper, he uses the Viper Strike, but he's still going to get taken down. We lose the Tiny as well. And the rest of the team here on Luccini just forced to retreat.
And they're gonna head
they're
right
gonna go
into the
Roche.
pit. This should give the Lone Druid just shy of his relic gold. He's gonna have to resummon his bear, so that's. I mean, he doesn't really have to worry about it dying anytime soon. But
A little bit of a slow Roche though right now, at least. But I don't think they really can contest this right now. I mean, they've got a big gold lead on their DK and, of course, their Lone Druid here.
yeah, and the Viper's not really ready to fight just yet. He's not quite tanky enough. He has the damage, but he's not tanky enough to stand up to the DK or the Lone Druid and trade blows just yet.
All right, first Aegis of the day picked up here for the side of Infamous. On to the Dragon Knight. Who took cheese?
No cheese yet.
No cheese yet. That's right. That's the second one. Then the Pressure Shards on the third one. Looks like they smoked up over here on the Dire. Not sure what they're looking for here. Everyone seems to be in the top lane, though. So, smoke will wear off. Blink Dagger's up and running over on Puck, though, now. That's a big item for him.
Yeah, that'll get them some really nice initiation onto... I think the DK is their biggest problem. If they can pop this Aegis before he gets to any towers, then I think Luccini's in a good spot. But right now, he's just too good at doing tanky DK things and just standing in the middle of things.
Tanky DK things.
That's what he does. He literally just stands there. I mean, he's one of the most boring heroes for mids to play. He's up there with Viper because you just stand there and you say, "Come at me, bro." You spam Q every once in a while. Maybe you throw at a stun, and then you just run at towers. That's what DK does. And he's really good at it.
I don't think they can really afford to be trading a tier 2 for a tier 1 down here. I don't know. It's going to go down. I'm sure we're going to see some TPs possibly coming out here for top. They popped Dragon Form as well, but...
That's a dead tower.
Yeah.
You have to let that go. It sucks, but at this point, the Viper's not ready to fight. Tiny doesn't have any damage. He's so close to his blink. They don't want to fight right now. They want the tiny blink first.
They're not even going to finish up hitting the tower. They're just going to allow the Cardi to get it. Oh, it looks like Shadow Demon. He wants it, though. Boop. There we go. Tier 2 top taken down by the mighty right click of the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, he's got his Aether Lens. He's going to move in towards the Glimmer Cape now. A little bit of defensive utility there. Nothing too surprised. The name of the game is just keep the DK and the bear alive. As long as you can do that, you're in a good spot.
Ooh. Dragon Knight, he was looking. He heard the sound. But we do have the Blink Dagger now picked up over on the Tiny, so that's going to also help with initiation between he and Puck having those blinks. I think things are looking okay for them right now on the side of Luccini. Yeah, the bears get closer and closer. Oh, is that? Yep. Radiance Recipe is coming out on the courier right now.
Yeah, this is when the game gets tough, though, because now they have some wave clear. They've got Puck. Viper can kind of do it with the new Nether Toxin. And, I mean, Tiny can do it, but there's only so much that you can really commit at a time. All of those heroes that I just listed they also need to be killing people and getting objectives, and they can't be doing that.
Oh, Puck, this could be so dangerous. Oh, he jumps in anyways. We'll be able to get the Waning Rift off and just run out. He was, like, TPing right in next to that Elder Titan. They're going to lose this tier 2, though, between the Bear and the Dragon Knight. It's going down. They're headed towards tier 3 now. Dragon Form gets popped. Veil gets used as well. And it looks like we do see the TPs coming back. They realize we cannot be giving this up. There's a jump forward immediately from Dragon Knight. He still has that Aegis. Nice Waning Rift getting used as well. Bane taking a little bit of a nap, and he's just kind of taking a bath here. And all of this gross toxins coming out here from the Viper. Aegis does get popped, though, and they've got a couple stacks of the Shadow Poison over here. They'll turn back around. They get the Dream Coil off, followed up with the save, though. Big Winter Wyvern ulti, except they're all sleeping. It's not really going to do much of anything. A little bit of miscommunication there. And now it looks like this Bear's got his eyes over onto the Bane. They'll still be able to take him down. They get a buyback, though, and just chomping away over at this tower right now.
Mid's going down to Tiny because he didn't have a TP, but...
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
This is, I think, going to go better for for Infamous.
Oh, the jump forward coming out from DK. He'll go back in for reinitiation. More Shadow Poison getting thrown out left and right here. Big disruption over onto the Viper. Bane trying to lead a merry chase here. He's like, oh man, please leave me alone. Literally, this player's name right now is Stay Alone, and they're not giving him that action. We do see Wyvern TPing herself home though, trying to go deal with this Tiny. This bear actually gonna get taken down though. Big Echo Stomp coming out. They get the kill over onto the Viper. And they still have their eyes on the Bane. Oh my goodness, what a fight. So how much damage did Tiny do? He did quite a bit of damage, just him. And that's something we saw in our games yesterday for Luccini, is just how much this Tiny likes to split push.
Yeah.
So that's something they have to be very aware of.
Both T3s are pretty low right now. I mean, it was a 4v4 fight, so that was a pretty good hold from Luccini, I want to say. They get a lot of space. The fact that they forced the TP back was huge. It sucks that they lost the Viper again, and they only popped the DK Aegis, but they did not lose the T3. They didn't lose any racks. They can still come back into this game. We saw like Nether Toxin just so good against DK. It's just so good.
Yeah, he was just taking a bath in the middle of all of that, and it just ate away at him the entire time.
Yeah, they're going to need some Force Staffs on the side of Infamous to just get him out of there.
We do have a smoke over on the Wyvern, over on this Elder Titan. They're waiting for someone to approach, and Viper actually coming for it. Look how big he is with the Bloodlust on. I always found that really, really funny.
That is terrifying.
What is it? Terrorblade with Bloodlust and a BKB on is like massive, right?
Same with Doom. Terrorblade's bigger,
Doom is
but
just a giant.
Doom is
Echo
just
Stomp. They grab this Tiny. In comes the Earth Splitter. Shadow Poison coming out as well. Oh, Tiny, you are just gone.
Man, Soul Catcher into...
Oh, but they find themselves a Shadow Demon down here. He's got the Glimmer Cloak. We'll be able to... Oh, they drop a Sentry. They've got eyes over onto Shadow Demon. Disruption comes out, though. He tries to buy himself a little bit more time here. Lots of poison getting thrown out here by the Viper. Still should be able to take him down. DK jumps forward, though. He's got his eyes over on Viper yet again. Puck gonna just kind of jaunt around in and out of the corners here. Viper's still gonna get taken down here. And, oh, they cancel out the TP on Ogre. They should be able to get this one more hit. It's actually going to be the tower that gets the final hit here. Bane trying to run out. It's not going to work. Not only does he get stunned, he gets rooted.
Yeah, you ain't
That
going
was
nowhere.
a bit of a disaster.
And all that was with Arcane Rune DK, so even if this expires, he's going to be able to push again pretty soon. Tiny going down at the beginning of all that was very unfortunate. But man, like Soul Catcher into Split Earth is just devastating.
Does so much damage.
60% of his HP was just gone. Oh man, I don't know how you kill this DK with a Viper. The Halberd is just so good. He got broken, and he popped. Sorry, DK got broken, pops the Halberd on the Viper, and there's nothing that the Viper can do anymore.
TP's coming in. They want to grab this DK. Puck jumps forward. Does the Dream Coil? He doesn't grab anyone though. DK's just hit himself over in those trees, just perfectly out of reach. They do spot the Wyvern moving around a little bit, but I don't think they want to go jumping on this because they don't know, again, where the DK went. Tower is still actually up and running.
Not for very long. That's
yeah,
like
I was about to say, are they going to... Oh, look at the steps. Look at the steps up here. They're looking. Puck finds himself the Wyvern. We'll just jaunt away here. Bane is in for a world of hurt, though. He just is toast with the bear, and the Elder Titan Dragon form gets popped. They trying to get the Courier. They'll turn back around. They'll settle for an Ogre instead, I think. Yeah, one more hit from DK. Another Waning Rift thrown out here from the Puck, looking for the Echo Stomp. Get it actually over onto the Viper with the Splitter. Immediately, DK Bear run forward. They'll get that kill. Wyvern turns back around. Tiny, he's just in the middle of a lot of nastiness, and the GG gets called. Infamous take game number 1.
I mean, it just boiled down to not really being able to kill the Dragon Knight or deal with the Spirit Bear. Like, you can deal with one, but you can't deal with both.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an issue there with the draft, but who knows? Maybe Luccini can make a comeback. Maybe we'll get a full 3-game series, but we'll be back with game number 2, guys. Stick around.